So if you like to come into lying down to start, and then we'll begin. Just make sure you've got everything that you need. So take a little bit of time to settle. Maybe begin by taking a few deeper breaths. And as you exhale, if you haven't done so already, just allow the eyes to close. So feeling that this time is just for you. And taking a few deeper abdominal breaths. And then really feel as if you're releasing all the thoughts and tensions of the day with each exhalation. Allowing your abdomen to expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. Letting go of all tension and tightness as you breathe out. Just gently expanding, contracting with the breath. So to enter into a deeper state of relaxation, in a moment we're going to tense our entire muscular system. So the whole body starts to feel tense. And then we'll exhale to release that tension. So if you start to take your attention into your feet, and then begin to curl your toes, and then feel tension spreading up into your calves, pressing the knees together, and feel tightness in your thighs, squeezing the buttocks, tighten the pelvic area, and then make two fists and feel tension spread into your arms, raising your shoulders, create tension in the neck, and then take a deep breath in, tighten the stomach, the chest, tense your jaw, and then gently squeeze your eyes shut so that you experience tension all over your body. And then one muscle at a time, allow the body to relax. So letting go, unwinding, and feeling that warmth and heaviness of deeper relaxation penetrating your muscles. Feel your muscles releasing, letting go, unwinding, relaxing your face. Feel the forehead smoothing out, softening your eyes, relaxing that spot between your eyebrows. Let all facial expression fall away. Relaxing the corners of your mouth. Allow the jaw to slowly release. And allow your neck to be so relaxed that a gentle breeze blowing through the room would rock your head from side to side. Lowering your shoulders. Feel the whole length of your spine, releasing down into the support of your mat. Relaxing your hands. Have your palms turned upwards if that feels comfortable to do so. Relaxing your forearms, your upper arms. Allowing your chest to release. And let your belly be so soft that you can really feel this gentle expansion on the inhale, contracting on the exhale, receiving each breath freely. Allowing your hips and your buttock muscles to let go and unwind. And as you sink down a little bit deeper into relaxation, letting go of your thighs, your calves, your knees, allowing the knees to separate, relaxing your feet and your toes. And bring your focus back to your breath. Picture your heart and your lungs and feel the pace becoming slower and free of tension. And see if in the stillness that you can feel your heart beating. Slowing down your breath tempo. Feel and picture your heart beating. And with each breath, feel yourself breathing in relaxation. With each exhale, feel yourself releasing all tension, all tiredness. Inhaling relaxation, exhaling tension. And bring your attention to the organs of your abdominal cavity without trying to guess their exact location. Picture your stomach, your intestines, and see your kidneys, your liver, your bladder, reproductive organs. As you relax each organ, picture or sense any deep tensions dissolving at your mental suggestion to relax. And now visualize your brain and imagine the steady rhythm of your breath, cleaning it of all tension, dissolving thoughts with the exhalation. And for now, just feel as if you've completely let go. Imagine that your mind is like a clear blue sky, with thoughts floating by like white, fluffy clouds. Feel your body and your mind sinking deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper into relaxation, letting go and unwinding with each exhalation. So this evening we're going to do some joint freeing to begin, and then we're going to focus on some exercises. So that this yoga therapy that stimulates and energizes all 31 pairs of spinal nerves, which relate to every organ in the body, from the base of the spine to the top of the head. I'm going to repeat each exercise for about 1 minute. So, of course, the function of the spine is really to elongate and create a sort of wave-like freedom and quality within the spine, so giving life to the spine. So this elongation really helps the spine to regain its elasticity and to regain its youthfulness. And of course, the first structure that's formed in a child's body while it's still in the mother's womb is the spine. And consequently, all the other limbs, the arms, the legs, the hips, derive from it. And so for this reason, the spine is of greatest importance. So if the movements that we do during the day originate from the spine, then we know that the action is correct. But to do this and feel the results takes some time. And we can also learn from the quadruped animals that really elongate their spines with each step. And we should really do the same while we're walking or when we're standing. So that will be sort of the body of our practice this evening. So we'll start off now by taking some stretches through the whole body. So just taking your time to stretch out. So really use the stretches to, again, just take this time to release the day, to really stretch and yawn and take a few sighing breaths, releasing any tension that you're holding through the body. Just let it all go with that outgoing breath. And then as the arms come back alongside the body, just start to draw the knees inwards now so that you have the knees back towards you, starting to stretch out through the spine, tuck your chin a little to elongate through the back of your neck. And then here, if you exhale fully, bring your head and your knees closer together. And then inhaling as your head comes back onto the mat. Take a big stretch through the legs. Just flexing the feet, bring the hands to the backs of your thighs. And then push your thighs into your hands. Do that, creating a little bit more space in your lower back. And then if you bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet back to the floor. Bring the arms alongside the body. And we're just preparing for our pelvic tilt. So on the out breath, flattening the lower back into the mat. Draw the navel back towards the spine. And on your in breath, just floating the spine away from the pelvis away from you a little till you feel the lumbar curve come back into the lower spine. Just continue with that gentle undulation through the 5 vertebrae of the lumbar spine. It's just this gentle rolling of the pelvis, let your abdominal muscles gently guide the movement. So on the exhale, you're flattening lower back into the mat, navel draws back towards the spine. And then on the inhale, just let the pelvis move away from you slightly to feel the curve come into the lower back. So the hips don't lift at all. It's just this gentle undulation. Just through this area of the lumbar spine. It's a great yoga therapy for releasing the lower back, releasing tightness, releasing tiredness. And then as you come back to center now, make sure your feet are at least hip width apart, so you have a big space between the feet. That was the vertical massage. We'll take a horizontal massage now by pushing your left hip into the mat and then lifting your right hip And then with the breath, pushing right hip into the mat. And then lifting left hip. We've got that horizontal side-to-side massage now across the lower part of the spine. And then synchronize the breath with the movement. So keep the knees facing upwards. So there's minimal knee movement. And you're just focusing on pushing one hip into the floor as you subtly lift up through the hip on the other side, and then vice versa. Just taking your time with your breath, finding that nice smooth rhythm. And then, so if you come back to center, then just take a moment to see how you feel. And then visualize that you have a clock face beneath your pelvis. And then we'll start to take pelvis around that clock face. That you're visiting every number on the clock face. Just a nice circular motion. So you have this nice circular massage through the lower back now. And then we'll take circles in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Just see how the lower back feels now. And then once more, draw the knees inwards. So hug the knees back towards us. And again, take a moment, we'll find symmetrical. We'll exhale fully and bring the head and the knees closer together. And then inhaling, bring the head back to the mat. And then loosely take the arms and the legs towards vertical. And then we'll take some rotations through the feet and through the hands. So coming into our ankle and wrist rotations now, easing out through the joint. Taking the rotations in both directions. And then from there, again, just stretch the legs skywards. Bring the hands to the backs of the thighs and then flex through the feet. And then take the toes away. So go gently with this stretch. So you're flexing through the heels and then pointing the toes away. Just do a couple of those. Flexing through the feet and then pointing the toes away. And then if you bend the knees now, bring the soles of the feet back to the floor and then roll the arms away from the body. So you're just preparing for your semi-supine twist. And then on the out breath, let your knees roll off to the left. Your head either remains in that central position or you could roll the head off to the right. And then option either to leave the arms where they are, or you could bring your left hand either over your right knee or onto your right thigh, whichever you prefer. And again, this right arm, it can either be left where it is, or if you want to take that right arm higher, then you can take the arm a little bit higher. So you're just opening up through that underarm area. Just take a moment there, breathing into your twist. Just focusing on your diaphragmatic breath, so quality and movement of the breath. So if you've got that arm up and over, you're just encouraging the flow of lymph. So you're also getting that flow of lymph around the diaphragm, the underarm area. So breathing into the side body, encouraging that flow of lymph through neck, the abdomen. So we get a sense of being a really fluid being. The rivers of lymph flowing freely. And from there, if you bring your head back to center, it's been rolled off to the right, and then release the arms. You've changed your arm position, and then bring the knees back to center. And just take a moment. So we'll find symmetrical once more, and then preparing to come into our twist on the other side. This time, you take your knees off to the right as you exhale, and your head, if you wish, it can roll off to the left, or it could just be left, staying in that central position if you prefer. And again, option to leave the arms where they are, or you could bring your right hand either to your left knee or to the left thigh. And then option to leave the left arm where it is, or you can take that left arm a little bit higher overhead. Opening up the underarm area, breathing along that left side body. And then from here again, just release the arms and then bring the head and the knees back to center again. So you're coming back into this semi-supine position. And then from semi-supine, so ideally, if you have a wall quite close and handy, you can bring your legs up the wall. So bringing your hips against the wall and then bringing your legs up the wall that way. Or if you've got a chair, you could bring your your legs over the seat of the chair. Or if you don't have a chair or a wall handy, then again you could raise the legs and bring the hands to the backs of the legs. So whichever position you want to come into, just taking a little bit of time to set that up. So of course, legs at the wall, amongst its very many benefits, it's a really great way to straighten the spine and remove pressure from that lower lumbar area, as well as being good for draining lactic acid from the legs. So great counter pose if we're spending a lot of time standing. Just taking a moment to become comfortable in that position. And of course, it's a lovely, pretty safe inversion for us to come into, and all the inverted poses encourage the circulation and flow of lymph. So think about just broadening collarbones. If you wish, you can place your hands on the abdomen to get a sense of the diaphragm moving and pumping that lymph. It's a great restorative end of the day pose that we can come into. And then from your legs at the wall, start to bend the knees now. And then just take a moment so you can roll over onto your left side if that's convenient. Just take a little pause there. And then from here, just coming round and then slowly coming into a nice seated position. So as you come into seated, you might just want to have a little drink. So coming into, so whatever comfortable seated position suits you. You could sit up onto your block, you could come into a cross-legged position, but it really doesn't have to be cross-legged. And then from there, so we're just going to do a little bit of seated massage now. And again, it's just with this idea of getting some lymphatic flow or encouraging the flow of lymph through the body. So of course the lymph doesn't have a pump, so it really relies on us moving, or also massage. Gentle massage is really good for just encouraging that movement of lymph through the body. So if you start with your right hand and if you come to the base of your skull, just on that right side, and then just slowly start to smooth down so from the back of the neck, just come to the side of the neck and then stroke forward. So you're coming to just above the collarbone area, and you're just taking that gentle downward stroking action. So coming from the base of your skull, down from the back of the neck, side of the neck. Moving, so you're moving actually in the direction of the heart, gently aiding that movement of the lymph. So just a gentle motion. Of course, you can just turn your head a little just to increase that flow. And then if you take that to the other side, so again, come to that left side, just to the base of your skull, and then you're just stroking down. So from the back of the neck to the side of the neck, and then forward to just above the collarbone. And then just again, just gently continue to stroke downwards. And again, if you want to, just turn your head away from that downward stroke. Just easing out the neck. Helping the removal of toxins from the body. And then release. Just come back to center now. And then so from there, the other one that you can work with, so the other another lymph rich area is underneath the armpit. So we can stimulate the axial nodes underneath the armpit. So if you just take your right arm out to the side and take it a little bit higher so that you can get underneath the armpit area. And then we can just take an undulating motion underneath the armpit. Again, this will help to support the elimination of toxins. So the pressure is very light, and you're just moving down and up quite slowly. Just getting into those axial nodes. And then of course you can come to the other side, coming across to that left side, exactly the same stimulation of the axial nodes underneath the armpit area. Just gentle undulating motion, supporting elimination of toxins, very light pressure, just moving up and down slowly. And then releasing. The other place where you can palpate the lymph nodes, you can just get into the hollows of the collarbones, and you can again just gently palpate into those areas. And just going very, very gently. And then as you release, just take a little pause there, just relax the shoulders down. Just come back to your diaphragmatic breath. So just take a little pause, notice how you feel. Come back to the breath. And then as you open your eyes, so we'll continue with our spinal exercises. So I'm going to come up into standing now. So find your standing position. Have a drink if you'd like to as you come up. So the first one is the crossover twist. So if you take the legs just a comfortable distance apart, and then we're bringing the arms out at shoulder height, bring opposite arm to opposite leg, and then the other arm is reaching behind. So it's that movement as you breathe out, coming back to center as you breathe in, and then taking the twist to the other side. And again, we'll go for about 1 minute for each of these. So I'm not going to time it with a clock, but approximately 1 minute. And just see if you can find a nice, easy flow with the breath. Just allow the spine freedom of movement. So we'll just do one more to each side. And then we'll come back center. And then, so following that crossover twist. So the next one we get symmetrical. This is the water wheel. Next one in the sequence. So if you bring your feet now so that they're just about hip width apart to begin. So we're moving into a forward bend and a backward bend. And again, it's a nice flowing movement, so taking the body through flexion and extension. So if you just bring the hands to the tops of the legs, start to bend the knees, and then we'll hinge forward from the hips, slide the hands down the legs. You don't have to go all the way, just take the hands as far as it's comfortable for you. So exhaling as you come into your forward flow, and then inhaling as you bring the hands back up the legs, reaching the hands over the hips, releasing into your standing back bend. And again, just find that lovely flow of movement through the spine. So that it's quite an effortless flow with the breath. There's no strain. You have the option to go as deeply into the movement as you wish. It's according to how your body is feeling. Taking your time finding your own rhythm, your own pace. So just taking one more round. Releasing into your back bend. And then coming back to center, just coming back to your mountain pose. And you can just stay here for a moment. You could drop the gaze or you could close your eyes. Just noticing how you feel through your body. Noticing any sensations, noticing what there is to notice. And then, so from here, we'll take another transition. So we're going to transition down now into the all fours position. Again, do have a little drink if you'd like to as we transition down. So coming into our cat on all fours now. So the next one is our cat stretch. So a lot of the practice is taking the spine, of course, through flexion and extension, but from different positions. So you're subtly accessing all the different areas of the spine. So coming into the all fours position. And then on the inhale, start to lift the tailbone at the back hollow and allow the chin to lift. And then on the exhale, drop the tailbone down so the back arches up. Draw the chin towards the chest, pull the navel back towards the spine. And again, just find your flow. So you'll find that with this practice, you can make it quite a nice meditative flow if you wish, and you can close your eyes for quite a lot of the practice, being fairly low to the ground. Just take one more round of the cat. And from there, if you come back to neutral, and then just sit back towards your heels. So finding stretch cat here for a moment, release your lower back. Deepen the breath a little, finding that fullness of breath. And then from here, start to lift the head. You're going to walk the palms back towards the knees now. And then, so from there, if you come into a seated position, so you can take the legs wider now. You can have something underneath your seat if you wish. So legs are a comfortable distance apart. So coming into a live nerve stretch now. So the live nerve runs down the backs of the legs. And then on your out breath, you slide your left hand down your left leg, taking your left ear towards your left knee. And then on the inhale, slide the hand back up the leg, so you're coming back into that central position. And then taking that off to the other side. So exhaling as you slide your right hand down your right leg, taking right ear towards right knee. Inhaling as you come back to center, and just continue with that flow from side to side, the breath. Again, just find your own pace, your own rhythm. Again, option to close your eyes if you wish. We'll just do one more to each side now. And then coming back to center. And then as you come back to center, if you bring the legs back together, and then the next three from a kneeling position. But of course, if you don't like kneeling, you could adopt a different position. So it'll just subtly affect the area of the spine that we're working. But if you can come into kneeling, so you could pass up your knees, or you could place a block or some padding between your sit bones and your heels, if you wish. And again, this first one, it is a spinal flex, and you'll feel that working into the mid part of the spine. So with the hands onto the legs, on the inhale, start to lift the chin, lift the chest, and let the shoulders roll back a little as you breathe in. As you breathe out, the shoulders roll forwards. Drop the chin towards the chest, draw the navel back towards the spine. And again, just continue in that way. Taking your time, synchronize the breath with the movement. So we'll just do one more. And then so from here, if you come up into a tall kneeling position, and then the next one is twist. And then we'll reach the arms out at shoulder height. And then bring the hands onto the shoulders. Just allow the elbows and the shoulders to relax a little. And then you're taking your twist as you breathe out. breathing in as you come back to center. Breathing out as you twist around to the other side. And again, breathing in as you come back to center. Again, just continue at your own pace, your own breath rhythm. And we'll just do one more to each side. And then as you come back to center, just allow the shoulders to relax, allow the arms to relax down. So coming into Yoga Mudra now, you reach the arms overhead, so breathing in, and then breathing out, releasing the arms. So bringing the hands up onto the back, so the backs of the hands are either side of the spine, and then dropping the forehead either towards your mat, so you can bring it onto a block or a cushion, and then inhaling, coming back up. Again, we'll reach the arms forward and then overhead, and again, exhaling as you sit back towards your heels, just bringing the hands onto the lower back, palms are facing upwards, forehead dropping down towards the mat. Just continue for a few more rounds. So for this one, we do half of it as the moving pose, so the Yoga Mudra, and then the other half of it is in the static pose, like the pose of child or stretch cat. So just do one more of those, and then this time as you release, we'll either come into pose of child. So if you're coming into pose of child, you just have your arms alongside body. Again, forehead can either rest on the mat or onto a block or a cushion, or of course you can bring the arms forwards. Either the arms can be fully extended, or you might want to bend the elbows a little. Just take a little bit of time to settle there into your chosen position. Feel that pressure of the abdomen against the thighs, stretching out through your back muscles, separating the individual vertebrae from each other. So it helps to release pressure on the discs. Also, the function of the adrenal glands is regulated, tones the pelvic muscles, the sciatic nerve. Of course, it can be very cooling for the brain as you come into the final pose. And then, so from here, we start to lift the head. And again, walk the palms back towards the knees. Perhaps have a little drink again before we come back round. So the next one is the seated back bend. So We're going to come into a seated position next. So nice, comfortable seated position with the legs out in front. So either for this one, the knees can be well bent, or you could have a little bend at the knees, or you can have your legs fully extended. So whichever position is going to be most beneficial for particularly your lower back. And then on the exhale, I'm going to slide the hands down the legs and just go as far again as feels comfortable. So you could slide them towards the ankles and the feet. You just go as far as you feel is right for you. And then on the inhale, coming back into the upright position, maybe just rolling the shoulders as you come into the upright position. And again, exhaling as you fold forward from the hips. Have this sense of lengthening through the spine. So it's not rounding through your lower back. And then inhaling as you glide the hands back up the legs. And again, there's that option to roll the shoulders as you come into your upright position. Just continue for a few more rounds. So working with this west side stretch. And then we'll just do one more. And then so from here, we'll transition back, if it's comfortable for you, into a cross-leg position. A different position if it's not, perhaps coming up onto your cushion or your block. Just take a moment to set that up. So this one is the upper back flex. And then from your seated position, just bring your hands either onto your legs or over your knees. And then inhale as you lift your chin, lift your chest, let the shoulders roll back a little. And then on the exhale, shoulders roll forward, drop the chin towards the chest, draw the navel back towards the spine. And then we'll continue with this upper back flex. Again, just go at your own breathing rhythm, find your flow. And again, it can be quite nice if you'd like to close the eyes. So just do one more of those. slowly coming back to center. And then so the next one, if you interlace the hands and then just place the hands onto the sternum. So as if the hands are glued in place. This one's the propeller. So as you lift one elbow, you're dropping the opposite elbow. So you're inhaling and then you're exhaling as you take the opposite movement, keeping the hands quite connected without moving, so without bending at the waist. So you feel that stretch between your shoulder and your neck. Taking your time with those movements again, just synchronize the breath with the movement. Again, close the eyes if you wish. So we'll just do one more to each side. And as you release, just coming back to center, release the hands. And then breathing in, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Just take a little squeeze there. Exhale as you release the shoulder blades all the way down the back. Just take your time to allow the shoulders to release and relax fully. And then we'll just do that twice more to our own breath pattern. Really take your time with these shoulder shrugs. Just relaxing the arms, relax the shoulders. And then so from there, we'll move into the neck exercises. So on your next out breath, you slowly take your left ear towards your left shoulder. So you're gently releasing the right side of your neck. Inhaling, bringing the head back to center. Exhaling as you slowly take your right ear towards your right shoulder. So you're releasing that left side. Inhaling as you come back to center. And then on your next in breath, slowly taking the head around towards your left shoulder. Exhale as you bring the head back to center. Inhale as the head goes all the way round to the right shoulder. Exhaling as you come back to center. Inhaling as you lift your chin skyward. Exhale as you come back to center. Inhale as you drop the chin towards the chest. Exhale as you slowly come back to center. And then from there, bring your legs out in front of you. And then just slowly transition down into semi-supine. So find that comfortable semi-supine position. So you're bringing your heels comfortably close back towards the buttocks. Feet are facing forwards and parallel. Have your feet a good hip width apart and bring the arms alongside the body so the palms are facing down. Let's come back to your diaphragmatic breath. And then we're coming into our bridge pose, or if you would prefer, you can use a pelvic tilt instead of bridge. And then if you're coming into bridge, start to engage the feet. So you're pushing the feet into the floor. You're feeling that work, the strength through the legs as you lift up. You're lifting to that height, but you have a diagonal line through from the knees through to the shoulders. So you have a straight diagonal line along the back of the body and along the front of the body, so you're not arching through the back. And then on exhale, again, just take your time to peel back down through the vertebrae, so you've just got that lovely slow release as you come back down. And then continuing in that way with your rolling bridge, or if you prefer your pelvic tilt, just taking your time. So you can ever so subtly draw the inner thighs towards each other. Of course, if you wish, at the top of the pose, you can interlace the hands and hold that for a few breaths as another option for you. Bridge pose, particularly beneficial for the lower back. So it takes the spine out its usual compressed state. It's a great cure for a host of lower back ailments. And then if you've been holding that with your bind, again, we'll come back down into the base position. And then as you come into your base position, we're going to think about a transition now into lying down. So it's our last pose. So just think about now, maybe having a drink, gathering everything that you need for the final relaxation. And just take your time now to set that up so you're going to be really comfortable. So I thought it might be nice to do a metta meditation this evening to send some loving kindness out there into the world. And as you settle in, so just making yourselves really comfortable. Now, it's easy sometimes in these times of crisis to really spiral down, to become quite down, disheartened, depressed, and to feel really helpless. Um, but it's a good time to remember that we really have each other and that we're all part of a global community. And when we join together, that we can really have a positive impact. And of course, the research is very well documented, which shows that when there's a collective of meditations, collective peace gatherings, collective prayers, they found that crime rates and war and other negative symptoms really begin to decline. So these gatherings most certainly have a positive impact. And even within the darkness of war, we're already seeing the light of humanity shining through. And of course, we live in this paradox where we have 10,000 joys, but we also have 10,000 sorrows. We see horrific incidences, but also great acts of kindness and compassion, just one after another. And we have to remember in those times of darkness that there's always the opportunity for the light of humanity to shine. As Martin Luther King said, it's only in the darkness that you can see the stars. So as we come together today, sometimes I know it can be too much and we can turn away from the sorrow. But research again and science shows that when we turn away from our pain and our grief and our sorrow, when we turn off those emotions, we also equally turn off our ability to feel joy. So as a collective towards peace, we can actually help by turning towards these events in the world. And of course, it's not just in the Ukraine, there's devastation across the planet, the humanitarian crisis in Yemen, the men and the women and the children of Afghanistan. So, and of course, the many thousands of people who are just sleeping rough on our streets. So it's really the things that move us to tears that are also the things that move us to take action. They remind us that we're not separate from one another, that we're really in this together. And this is the deepest intention, of course, of yoga, that there's no divide, and that we can call to mind people of the Ukraine, people of the world, global leaders everywhere, and just take a moment to breathe here as a collective and really sense out into that collective, everyone. So not just our own group, but there'll be other groups sending prayers out into the world, this big collective throughout the country, throughout the world. And of course, this is the place that we all call home. So sending some loving kindness out now from our hearts. May all beings everywhere be safe from internal and external harm. And just take a little bit of time to repeat silently to yourselves. It's that invitation, if you would like to. May all beings everywhere be safe from internal and external harm. And let's radiate this sentiment throughout the planet so that no one at all is excluded from this circle of compassion. May all beings everywhere be healthy in mind and in body. And just repeat silently to yourself. May all beings everywhere be healthy in mind and in body. And visualize radiating health across the planet. May all beings everywhere know the joy of a peaceful heart. May all beings everywhere know the joy of a peaceful heart. So may you be safe from internal and external harm. May you be healthy in mind and in body. And holding the people of the Ukraine in our minds and in our hearts. May you know peace. And wishing each person a deep experience of peace. And of course, no practice of compassion is complete without sending these sentiments out to yourself. May I be safe. May I be safe from internal and external harm. And just repeat a few times to yourself. May I be safe. May I be safe from internal and external harm. May I be healthy in mind and in body. And unhurried and unrushed, again, just repeating quietly to yourself. May I be healthy in mind and in body. And really allow it to resonate. May I know peace. May I know the joy of a peaceful heart. May I know peace. May I know the joy of a peaceful heart. And sense that peace together as a global collective. Just allowing the breath to deepen a little. And then so from here we can, there's the invitation to recite, so this sacred prayer, so the mantra from the yogic tradition that celebrates the peace, the awakening, and the freedom from suffering of all beings everywhere. And I invite you to repeat after me. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And then the Sanskrit word for peace, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just taking a few deeper breaths, just allow that to resonate and settle. And just knowing that no effort is wasted with collective prayer and meditation. Know that it definitely has an impact. So the challenges that we face on this planet, the pandemic, climate change, the war in the Ukraine, we have to believe that they're all here to help us to awaken from the nightmare. And when the dream is good, when the dream is sweet, we want to stay asleep. But one thing that we know is that these challenges, these moments of suffering on a large scale, are here to help us to awaken, and to awaken beyond dysfunctional ego and the ego that separates us from all of the human beings and all of the forms of life. So one of the most powerful things that we can do, even during these times of crisis, is really to continue to practice, to get onto our yoga mats, to sit on our meditation cushions, and to always come back to yoga. Yoga is oneness, yoga is connection. And when we come back to choosing courage over fear. We come back to compassion and bring that to people who are suffering. And of course, we come back to light, bringing light to the areas of the world that are experiencing darkness. So within each one of us, there's a spark of light. And that light is immeasurable, unshakable, it's unlimited, eternal. And that light is always with us. And that light will always win over the darkness. Every one of us has this light inside of us. And once more, I'll invite you to repeat this mantra for peace. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all the beings in all the worlds be filled with peace and joy, love and light. And may the light of truth overcome all of the darkness. Victory to that light. And just taking some time now to slowly take some very gentle movement through the hands, through the feet, through the fingers, through the toes. Taking any movement, any stretches that you need now. And then in your own time, just rolling over onto one side, so whichever side feels comfortable for you. So you're just coming into that nice fetal position for the last few moments of relaxation.